I haven't felt attractive in a long time. Now, before you clutch your pearls, hear me out. When I say this, people get very excited. Their eyes light up and they look all sorry and stuff. They say things like, "But you're so beautiful, you're so slim, you're so this, you're so that." And they give me all these useless platitudes that mean absolutely nothing, referencing my hair, my looks, etc. In my opinion, a lot of these have nothing to do with feeling truly attractive. So when I say I haven't felt attractive in a long time, it's more about just not feeling myself, not feeling that I'm where I am. Does that make sense? No. Okay. Not showing up for myself. I'm not feeling I'm in a place where I really want to be anymore. And you know what? It's fine. I think we all go through different stages in life where we go through these periods of a dip and then we realize that, okay, what's going on? Suddenly, disappointment begins seeping into our subconscious, closely followed by dissatisfaction, or perhaps it's the other way around. Anyway, I think people always equate how you feel with how you look, and it's nothing to do with that. I need to feel like I'm in a good place. I'm in a supported place. I'm in an inspirational place to feel good about myself. No matter how good I look, no matter how nice my nails look, my shoes, my outfits, no. If my space in particular does not inspire me, then I am completely lost. I think I'm used to being in inspirational places or spaces, You're in a sanctuary, it's a comfortable place, you feel like you can completely be yourself. And if you're lucky, you're also supported and surrounded by other people who want you to succeed. It's taken me a while to realize that how I'm feeling at the moment has a lot to do with my surroundings. It has to do with the home I'm living in at the moment, the people who I've been interacting with, or perhaps not interacting with, and so many of these other alternatives that we don't really consider. Because I think that as human beings, we're so used to dealing with whatever we have and being grateful for it. That's how we've been raised, right? To be grateful for everything. You have a place to rent, be grateful. You own a place, be grateful. You have a nice landlord, be grateful. And yes, I am grateful. But something has changed and there's been a switch. And you know what? It's okay. It's okay to want more for yourself. Don't let people ever try to tell you that you're being too this or too that, or wanting too much. I tend to find it's people who have a very religious perspective or extremely strict upbringings who tend to say stuff like that. I guess it's supposed to keep you in your place, keep you small, keep you just happy and content. So to summarize it all, I have not been feeling bueno with myself. I've also had so many friends who have left the city, so it got me considering my options. Do I simply change apartments? Perhaps move to a different country? What do I do? South America has always been amazing to me. I love South America. I love Africa. So what exactly do I do? This is the dilemma I kind of find myself in. Now, I don't want to keep moving. I love the idea of traveling, but I'm more interested in shorter trips now. Kind of like 1 or 2 week trips. And I want to have a base. I want a base, a nice, cozy sanctuary surrounded by community and the familiar. To be honest, my current apartment has not served me in a while. At least in the last 2 years. And that's a lot. So it really only served me for the first year I lived there. One of my biggest issues with it, which will sound absolutely ridiculous, is the light. There's too much natural light. It's gotten to be quite harsh and draining. I know that sounds crazy, especially for someone who supposedly likes plants, but it drowns out my creativity because I don't like anything too bright. And usually I like my dark and moody spaces with pops of colour. I also love Afro-Bohemian decor, West African fabrics, I love masks, I love eccentric sofas, I love ironware and brass work. I love all these displays, kind of like at home when I was growing up, but less of the bohemian in that time period. I think I do get a lot of my inspiration from growing up in Nigeria. It was a big boon for me because I learned to appreciate the decor and be inspired by everything around me. So, whilst an apartment with all the lovely white walls and natural light was good, it eventually became boring, insipid, and uninspiring. I have done my time here and it's time for me to move on. Another issue I've also had is the closet space. It's just that there's not much circulation going on, too many walls and cramped spaces, low ceilings, and I also hate my kitchen. I've hated my kitchen from the first day I moved in. It's very dark and there's just one tiny window, and then I can hear my neighbours quite a bit as well. Now, I've been doing a lot of moaning, but one big advantage of the space I have is that in the winter, it is amazing. It's so well heated and insulated. So that is always a plus. And I know it'll be very difficult to find something like this again. Whenever I've been to my friends' places here, it's always been quite chilly, and they've always had to use quite a lot of heating just to get the spaces warmed up. But mine doesn't need very much heating at all. My energy bills actually are quite low, pretty low. However, the lack of closet space and organization and the lack of just being able to get to my clothing easily is a big disadvantage. I've also worn pretty much the same things over and over again all year. I don't want to buy lots more furniture that I wouldn't like or wouldn't be to my taste. I was also speaking to a friend recently, and I said that this flat that I'd loved for the first year was now just a heavy weight on me, and I'm no longer comfortable in it. I'm no longer comfortable living here, and it makes me wonder how I could go from such a big switch from loving this apartment for a year to not being able to deal with it at all. And my friend explained that I had recovered from the COVID years. You see, I came here just after COVID, and the COVID years were a bloody mess. They were awful. They drained us of all our finances. Well, some of us. I lost a lot of money during COVID. So my lovely family was sort of sending money across, which is great to have, but that's how I survived. So I came here on the back of COVID, and I just wanted something quiet and somewhere dry to live with my dogs. My landlady is lovely. So naturally, I started to feel guilty about wanting more. I mean, after all, the flat was a decent space for one person. It was dry, it was clean and warm. So what more could I want? And after the first year, I sort of convinced myself that I was being greedy by wanting more, and I didn't need much more than this. I had to stay here and work it out. So I bought more furniture and I did more stuff around the flat to make it feel like home again. But after a while, I realized that there was little I could do around the apartment, especially with the furnishings. Furniture here is horrifically expensive. And if you want to get something custom made, good luck. It's just the same, and even more expensive. You would need a king's ransom. If you're talking about secondhand, which I love, the secondhand furniture here tends to be very expensive as well. They tend to jack the prices up quite a bit, especially the nicer furniture. So it's not like going to secondhand thrift stores where you get some person's furniture from an estate sale for a bargain. I know a lovely lady, an African American, who moved to London and is married to a Nigerian actually. She had a lovely North London apartment, 2 stories, just beautiful, which she furnished all on second-hand furniture. It was so crazy and so inspiring. I recall her dining table was like £10. So you can get these sort of deals over in London, but where I am, not so much. I also didn't realise how much I hated IKEA furniture until I had to live with it, because it's the most unromantic stuff I've ever seen in my life. I mean, I guess it's supposed to be more practical and functional. However, IKEA is not too bad in terms of the simpler things like kitchenware and household goods, but furniture, not so much. Not for me anyway. And when I moved here, IKEA furniture was pretty much what I could get. So, I've been bitching on about furniture enough. As you can probably tell, it is a passionate subject for me. So the question is, what is next in my life, and what will give me the freedom that I require and the freedom that I actually do deserve? When I came, as I said, I was slightly tired, beaten, recovering from COVID still, so I would have arrived in 2022, and now it's 2025. So the question is, what next? And don't ever be afraid to ask yourself that question, what next? What am I doing next? Am I happy here? Because so many of us convince ourselves to just be grateful, because that's the way we've been conditioned by family, parents, grandparents, aunts, uncles, religion, society. Just be grateful. Be grateful for all your relationships, your health, your flat. But it's almost like people don't want you to reach for more. But I've always wanted more in my life because that's how I was raised. So what's next? What's the next plan? What's the next move? And this is something that we should all do and we should all be cognizant of and aware of and strive for. In my opinion, we shouldn't fear change, because on the other side of that hesitation, on the other side of that fear, could be something truly amazing and could be something that actually will set us free. But when we stay stuck because we feel we might lose something or get slightly uncomfortable, we never know what we can actually truly achieve. And that's a sad part of it. And I'm watching so many people now who are living like this. They're terrified of making decisions and just terrified about everything in their lives. And they're stuck. And they're paralyzed. And it's scary to observe. So don't be afraid to ask yourself, what's next? Thank you for attending my TED Talk.